Hi everyone, and welcome to Coast Infinity and Beyond channel. My name is Tosin, and I am half of the Coast Infinity here. My partner, Kieran, my husband, he is currently not here, which I think is even better because today we're going to be talking about using dating apps intentionally to find your partner. I'm going to give you a little history about my dating experience. I'm going to show you all some of my photos that I had on my profile, give you my 3 tips or 4 tips actually, hoping that they help you to use dating apps correctly so that you can meet your partner as soon as possible. It's really important for me to note here though, I use dating apps to help me, at least when I found my partner, as a tool. And I was also manifesting him as a time. I was calling him in and I wanted to meet the universe somewhere, getting out of my apartment and putting myself in situations where the universe could bring this for me. So using Bumble was helping me in the moment as I was calling him in and manifesting him. Let's get right into my rich dating history. Most of you who follow our one of us in our social media platforms or maybe are subscribed to our channel here, you will know that I personally have been single for 10 years before I met Kieran. So with that said, I had a lot of experience on different dating apps specifically because I've always kind of just been wanting love. I'm a hopeless romantic and I've just always been hoping for it, looking for it, like, hello, is it out there? So I have experience using Tinder, I used Hinge, I used Bumble, I've deleted a lot, I've reinstalled it, I've used plenty of fish as well. I think I've even probably missed a few that were around for a little while and then kind of disappeared because there's something in my head that okay Cupid, I used a lot and I deleted a lot and I re-downloaded and I deleted. So in terms of dating apps and preferences, this is where I'm at, and this is my watch decided to give me an alarm there. So this is where I'm at, and this is my personal opinions about dating apps specifically. Tinder, in my opinion, was just kind of a hooking up app. I have a friend or a few friends that met their partners on Tinder, so I think anything is possible in any app. But Tinder, from my experience, just always felt like a place where people were just always trying to hook up. They were just always like, come over. And it was never, let me take you on a date. It was always, come over to my house. It's 11 p.m. Like, what about 11 a.m.? Can we meet for a coffee? Like, well, hello? So I didn't like the way the men that were swiping right on me were moving on Tinder. That's my opinion on Tinder. Hinge, I didn't have a lot of luck with. And it's not to say anyone else would experience this because I have a friend currently dating a guy that she met on Hinge. I've heard personally good things about Hinge, but I didn't have a good experience with it. And maybe it's because of the location I was in. So that brings me to Bumble. Always been a fan of Bumble, and I think I'll always be a fan of Bumble because it's where I met my husband. Bumble was always my favorite app throughout the year. It's always my favorite dating app because I hated waiting for the men to message me, only for it most times to amount to nothing. So I'm like, if it's not going to amount to anything, let me be the one, like, making the moves or calling the shots. So I love that you can message first and, like, oh, they're not messaging you back or you're not feeling it. Like, that's fine. I'll remove you. It doesn't matter. I love that they have 24 hours to respond to you as well. That's the thing about Bumble. You swipe right, you have to message them in 24 hours to keep that message, and they also have to message you back in 24 hours to keep the connection. So it also puts that pressure on to start a conversation. And I felt like Tinder, you could have swipe right on somebody and they will be there until the end. Like, they're there forever. While Bumble is like, no, you swipe right, you have this amount of hours to message, they have this amount of hours to message you back, and then you do what you want with the connection from there. But if you don't message each other back, you lose the connection. And I really love that incentive on Bumble. And that's another reason why I really just like Bumble, because it's like, have conversations, get the connections, go after what you want. So personally, out of the big 3 dating apps I'll say are out at the moment, Bumble will definitely be my favorite. Before I hop into the tips, I think it's so important to note, as with most things out there, different people will have different thoughts, or you may just not feel the same as me. And I need you all to know that these are my personal thoughts. So it's okay to disagree with me, and it's okay to do the things the way you would like as well. But I 100% back my opinion, and I 100% believe it works. So, with that said, let's hop into the profile that I had. I had four photos on my profile, and I swiped right on my husband. I had the main photo where I was like, this is me, I'm the it girl. Put some respect on my name. I had a second photo where it's like, oh yeah, you want to get on a boat, you want to swim, I got you. You always gotta have some kind of like bathing suit photo, in my opinion, but I didn't want to like have everything out there at the same time. So I kind of just was like a little cheeky, boat photo where it's like, hi, I'm on the boat. So that was my second photo. My third photo was with friends to show that like, hey, I have friends, I'm I have friends, I'm social. And then the fourth photo was just another casual photo. I think showing the Nigerian kind of side of me, and showing an outfit that I had made in Nigeria, and just showing like, I'm two different cultures infused into one, And then with those four photos, so the it girl photo, the bathing suit photo, the friends photo, and the cultural piece photo, I had two boxes on my profile, on my dating profile, that mentioned would rather do a night in than a night out, just to kind of like put it out there, like, I'm looking for good vibes. Like, of course I love partying, but like I'd pick a night Netflix watching Friends any day over like and that was me personally. But I just wanted that to be clear, and wanted that to be out there. The next thing I had up there was around my favorite karaoke song, because I just think that's a very good conversation starter. So I was thinking, if a guy wanted to make a conversation, that's the first thing he could probably say. Like, my conversation starter for karaoke song is always High School Musical, because we're always breaking free. So that was my conversation. That was one of the other things I had up on my profile. And I liked having things on my profile that like helped stimulate conversation, because you've never met these people before, so you want to help the conversation as much as possible. Like, what can I bring, or what can I add that will kind of keep it flowing, and hopefully we can get off this app and meet in real life. Now let's get into the tips, the 3 or 4 major tips I will give you all when it comes to using dating apps intentionally. The first one is around being open minded. One thing to walk into a bar, or be in a club, or just be somewhere out. You can kind of see the way someone's acting to be like, I don't know. Or you can see the way someone looks to be like, oh, I don't know. Or it's another thing for your friends to vouch for somebody and be like, or like, yes, no. Like, you have friends vouching, like, oh, like that person, I know he's not really your type, but I promise he's a nice guy. And you're like, okay, fine, I'll give them a chance, because your friends have vouched for them. So because it's online dating and none of these things would happen, you're solely swiping right off the photos you're seeing and things they have typed. I always encourage people to be open minded, because, first of all, you have no idea what they actually look like in real life, and you don't know who, like, the kind of person that they are yet in a real life setting. We are different people than we are, in my opinion, on the phone than in actual reality. So when I say be open minded, I don't mean settle. Please do not think I mean settle. Make sure you know what your deal breakers are. Make sure you know what your red flags are. Make sure you know what your non negotiables are. If it's that you don't want a man or a woman that smokes cigarettes, and you see or you know that they do, like, I'm not saying be open minded and go on a date with. What I'm saying is, if there are things that are non negotiable and you're like, why not? Like, I'm not opposed to that. Like, dating someone a different race than you, dating someone with a different, maybe sometimes you should go for blondes, maybe swiping right on a brunette. That is what I mean when I say be open minded. Be open minded on the things that a little lighter. We don't actually care about it. We're just used to it because it's the preference. It's what we've always gone for. So when I say be open minded, that is what I mean when I say that. And just a little side note, my husband's photo on Bumble, he did not have a good photo. And this is also when I say be open minded. He did not have a good photo at all. I said, why not? Because he only had one. I swiped right and I was like, oh, he's actually kind of funny. And then I didn't message him for a long time. And then I was like, you know what? I messaged him for a while. He still says I ghosted him. And then I messaged him like a month later, 3 weeks later, and I'm like, "Do you want to go for a walk?" And he's like, "Sure, why not?" I still can't believe he said yes after I didn't message him back for weeks. And then we met up, and I was like, "Whoa, you are so much cuter in real life." He was also much more quiet in real life. He's like kind of shy. And again, I would usually go for like the loudest guys in the room. I'm not saying that was what was best for me, but that's what I usually went for. So then meeting my now husband and seeing like, oh, he's more of the quiet type. Interesting. And then realizing I really like this. This is so good for me. This actually balances me. This is what I needed. This is what I want. And really, this is what I manifested. So let's go. So that would be my first tip for you all. My second tip will be around meet in real life as soon as possible. And this kind of bleeds into my third piece, but I'll get there in a second. When I say meet in real life as soon as possible, I say if unless you are actually looking for a pen pal, set up a date to meet as soon as you feel like the vibes are there. Even if it's for a walk, a coffee in the morning, not every date has to be at nighttime. Anything you feel comfortable doing, whether it's maybe a hobby or a similarity you both have, meet at that kind of place and do the thing you both enjoy doing. You don't also have to sit across the table from each other. But what I'm saying is meet in real life, because you could be messaging and everything could be great, and then you meet in real life and you're like, actually, the attraction's off, or oh, maybe this is a bit off, or this is a bit off, or wait a second, our messages were like okay, but this chemistry here is amazing. Like I want to pursue this some more. So when I say meet in real life as soon as possible, I mean do that so that you can limit the time wasted on messaging somebody only to meet up and feel that maybe we're not actually a good fit for one another. So that would be my definitely big thing there. And if you can, send voice notes as early as you can too. I'm very big on voice notes because I'm like, what do you sound like? Let's go. Let's see. How do we flow? Like, how are we going? And if you want to call me, like, what? Oh, but again, level of comfortability when it comes to the person that you are chatting to. You have to gauge it, feel it, and go with it as well. But this leads me to my third tip: safety. Safety is always so important when online dating. It's so important for you, or whenever you're going on a date, for your friends to like know where you are when it comes to online dating. Because again, we don't know people. We're meeting them for the first time, and you just want to be sure that you're being safe. So when I used to go on dates, I used to make sure I was sharing my locations with a friend that's close by, and of course with my family that's far away. Sharing my location is just so important, and making sure that if anything feels off at a certain point, if I'm like, this does not feel right, something feels weird, something feels sketchy, making sure that I draw the line, making sure I leave, remove myself from situations whenever I ever feel unsafe, and knowing that someone always knows where my location is. So even in saying that, whenever you have a first meetup, I always encourage somewhere public. Somewhere public, other people are around, just be public, be safe, and yeah, be smart in terms of always listen to your gut. Always listen to your gut. The last tip I'll have for you: have fun. Have fun. I can't tell you how much time I spent using dating apps over the years, putting so much pressure on these I'm gonna say poor guys, because they're just trying to meet me. They're just trying to like see if there's something there and just get to know me. And I'm just like, but are you the one? Are you the one? And of course, this is coming from an unhealed part of my subconscious that I've definitely worked through before I found my husband, and very happy about that, because I had to heal to be able to find my husband. But I just put so much pressure on these dates. I put so much pressure on these men. And whenever it didn't work out, it broke me. It broke me. And I look back and I'm like, wow, like they were just trying to see if we got on. Like they were just trying to just send some messages and see if this could be something. And I'm just like, yeah, that was coming from a part of me that hadn't healed. I was walking around and I was just looking for love any way that I could get it, instead of giving it to myself first and really healing that inner child to be able to consciously call in the partner that I have now and manifest the partner that I have now. So that last tip really is have fun with it. You know, these are the last few days you're going to be single, because you have to believe that you will meet your partner eventually. So these are the last few days. These are the last few dates you're going to be going on as a single person. Enjoy them. Enjoy the moment. Do not put pressure on strangers. Just enjoy them. Feel it out. And whenever you don't like it either, remove yourself. Do not feel like you need to just continue with it because you really just want to find the one. Have fun, guys. Enjoy dating. It's meant to be fun. The picking you up, the dropping you off, the butterflies, all the messages, everything. It's so much fun. And it's just really important to remember that, because the minute we put a lot of pressure on it, the minute it's not fun anymore. And then we're annoyed and everything's annoying and we're like heartbroken, we're crying, and it ends up being big. And it can be light, it can be fun, and it can be the beautiful introduction into you meeting your person. So with that said, because I started the video around to letting you all know that I did use Bumble as a tool to manifest my partner, that is my story essentially. I had to heal a lot of my wounds to up level myself to be able to meet the partner that I actually desired. I was down here unhealed and just looking for love, and the partner that I wanted, was up here. So I had to heal those wounds inside of me to really up level myself to be able to call in the man that I really desired. And I used Bumble as that tool where I knew the things that I wanted in terms of my non-negotiables. And if I ever felt like someone was kind of trying to dot around that line, I was like, I can't. This is a non-negotiable. Like, it's one thing for here and there, but like non-negotiables are non-negotiables. Do not negotiate on them. Do not negotiate on them. They're non-negotiables for a reason. And it's been amazing being able to manifest my now husband, and not even realizing in the moment when we were dating that, like, this is it. This is what I've been manifesting. And it wasn't until we got interviewed on RTE1 on our third date that I realized, oh my gosh, I am living in my manifestation. Like, I am living it out right now. This is insane. But yeah, if you're manifesting a partner, as well as my tips, it's so important for you to align your actions to be able to meet them. So you can't just sit around at home and hope that you accidentally stumble into them the 10 minutes you're out a day. You have to put yourself in those kind of social situations where you are meeting them. And dating apps is one of the best ways to meet people, because whether it be for one night, 1 week, forever, everyone on that app is looking for some type of connection. And that's like the few place one of the fewest places in the world where you can say everyone on this thing is looking for something similar, like some kind of connection in some way. With that, that is my guide or my tips on dating, and hoping all of this is helpful to you as you find your partner using a dating app. Let me know if you have any questions, throw them into the comments, and thank you so much for watching, guys. And if you're interested in manifesting your dream person, I wrote a guide on it, and it's in the link in our bio. Feel free to snatch that up if that's something you're interested in. Okay, bye.